right.
To After Dark. How are you doing tonight, Ted?
Kara, I am great. How was your holiday?
It was really good. I got a little bit of a tan, went to the lake, got to see my family. So it was a great weekend. How was yours?
Very nice. We have actually some bad weather coming in. We have snow coming overnight and gonna have snow tomorrow. So winter is still here in the Northeast.
You got to move down south, Ted.
Yeah, I guess so. That's coming. So all good. Hey, thank you so much for all that you do. I'm excited about the next event coming up with the Fixed Ops Roundtable. And I see you've been pretty busy getting ready for that too.
Oh, yeah. A lot of promos that we've already put out and a lot in the works. So it's going to be pretty exciting leading up to the next Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Yep. And I'm excited also about our sponsor, BG Products, Partners in Products. And they are doing a whole lot for the automotive industry. So BG, we want to thank you so much for your support of the Fixed Ops Roundtable and all you do for the Fixed Ops community as well. So we've got an amazing, very, very talented guest tonight with us on the show, Kara. And I'm excited that he's going to be here in just a few moments. Yep. And I've been anticipating this guest for a long, long time.
I think it's going to be a pretty funny show tonight.
I have a feeling, yes. So I've got if it's any indication, I have my Tully button on. So
hey, I got mine too. We're ready.
So I noticed in the promos that you're doing, there's a new character or a new speaker at the upcoming event. And tell us a little bit about this person who's going to be involved.
Yes, so I called in some favors. Considering that our next Fixed Ops Roundtable is all Star Wars themed, I thought, you know what? This will not be complete without my little sidekick, as I like to call him, BGD2.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Look at that, BGD2. And you had a chance to spend some time with BGD2 and getting him acquainted with the Fixed Ops Roundtable. And how did all that go?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I had him in our studio here in Madisonville. I took him around the dealerships, through our recon center. He was loving it. I even hooked him up there in our recon center, got him up to speed, feeling a little rejuvenated. He had a spa day, so you could say.
I like that. And that looks like it's a special kit from our friends at BG Products.
Oh, yes. Yep. I think they need maybe make a kit for BGD2. That's what they need to call the next one they roll out.
I like it. So, and you had some pretty dramatic stuff that you put together with BGD2. And we're going to be releasing those promos. The first one is coming tomorrow. And I'd like to give the audience a little preview of what's coming up with that. And by the way, everybody, we are live tonight. So we appreciate all of you being here. And any comments you want to leave us as well. Tim Wilson is here. Good evening, Tim, and thank you so much for your support of the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So, Kara, I want to show one of those dramatic clips that you did, if that's okay.
Let's see it. The automotive industry is so volatile right now, and we are relying on Fixed Ops departments around the galaxy to help us win this battle. Spread the word that the next Fixed Ops Roundtable virtual event will be May 17th, 18th, and 19th. And everyone can reserve their complimentary seat on the Fixed Ops Starship now at fixedopsroundtable.com to take part in this 3-day mission. This is our most desperate hour. Help me, Fixed Ops Roundtable, your automotive's only hope. Wow. I don't think there will be a promo this entire time that beats that one.
That is a classic scene of a classic take from Star Wars.
I think that will be the most iconic Fixed Ops Roundtable shot that you will ever see.
And by the way, there's a lot more, everybody. So Kara really put her heart into this. So we're excited to have BGD2 on the show, okay, with us. Also, a couple more featured guests that I'll be announcing this week, and I want to give everyone a preview of that tonight. We're going to have with us Beth Beans Gilbert of the Fred Beans Automotive Group, and Beth is going to be leading a panel on the women of beans. And if you've seen her posts lately on LinkedIn, she's been highlighting a lot of the leaders, and they will be with her on a special panel at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So, Kara, we are looking forward to having Beth here with us. Also, we're going to have a return visit from Steve Greenfield at Automotive Ventures. And Steve, as you know, has been everywhere, and he's been highlighting all these up and coming companies throughout automotive, and pairing them up against each other, and they're involved in raising capital and some really cool things that Steve's involved with. He'll be talking to us about. So we're looking forward to having him on the show, among many, many other guests. And you'll see those announcements forthcoming, everybody. So, Kara, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. We've got a lot of cool guests, really cool theme. I think it's safe to say, Ted, that this might be your biggest Fixed Ops Roundtable yet.
I've heard this is going to be the biggest one yet. So with that, I want to introduce our featured speaker, who is also going to be, Kara, the keynote speaker on day number 1 in the morning. And I have a special intro, and let's give him a May the Fort be with you welcome this evening here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Tully Williams, welcome to the show.
Wow, what an entrance.
We have never done anything like that for anybody, Tully. So
you must be special.
Well, I just want to say that promo you did right there, that was so cool. That is the first shot. That is the shot of Star Wars. Woo! I was yelling and screaming behind the scenes. I thought that was just the best thing ever.
I'm glad you loved it.
I saw Tully off on the side there, and he was like hard to contain himself. So that's great.
Wow. Well, it's sure exciting to be on here. Thank you so much, both of you, for giving me a great invite. I love your shows. You do great stuff. And, you bring in the limelight to Fixed Ops. God bless you, Mr. Ted Ings. God bless you.
Tully, it would not have happened without you when you came down to that second Fixed Ops Roundtable we did in Los Angeles. And you came down, and you were, I believe, one of the first 2 speakers or so at that event, and you wowed the whole place at the Beverly Hilton with your presentation on It's All About the Hours. And we learned a whole lot that day.
It was a lot of fun. It's so, doing these virtuals, it's great. I think we get a big audience, but, it's fun to get the pulse of the people on. And I can't wait till you kind of do a hybrid again. I just love talking to people, and you get the feedback, and it just kind of drives that conversation,
Yeah. And Tully, you got into the hours in a big way. Yep. And, I've told you before that, and I think I made the analogy to you're the John Madden, of Fixed Ops.
That'd be so cool.
But, where did you come up with this focus on the hours, and how did that all come about?
That's a great story. So, it started where I was a grocer, hours per row and all the wrong KPIs. And then my good friend, Randy Brinkman, as I worked for the Del Grand Dealer Group, Randy Brinkman was doing the training sessions for the general managers. And because I was a director there, I was included. And he just kind of brought to the limelight, we knew we sold hours, but we didn't really pay attention to it too much. And there was a couple slides that made the most sense. And then from that point forward, that's what I focus on. I've got to be careful. It's not about the money. It's all about the hours. It's the service manager's job to keep track of those margins, but let's make it fun. But it really comes down to a simple concept. I think sometimes we want to take it too seriously. And it's not that hard. Make it fun for everybody. Everybody knows where they're at. As you can see, the TVs behind us, I have 64 of these broadcasting out data to all of our sales and service departments. about how they're doing and making them feel good and telling them where they are. And guess what we're tracking? We're tracking hours, right? We're tracking processes, but it's all about the hours and where they are and how much more can they make for them and their families, right? That's what it's all about.
And Tully, yeah, you got that visual tracking going on that, I do not see in most places. So, that really stands out that you do that.
It's great. We have some for the customer, and honestly, not too many because it's hard to fit those into driveways, right? But most of them are usually there's 2 in a shop, and there's 1 in the sales tower. All right, the sales tower is more salesy, as I do data for both sides, and then the ones in the shop are all about service stuff. Like right there's a CSI score right there. That was about the hours from yesterday, I think, over there, right? So where we're ranking, there's phone calls. The whole point of it is that I want everybody to know where we are and where the goals we are for the Nilo company. As you know, the Nilo company, we're 101 years. And, as our dealer always says, we're in the people business. And yes, people is our best asset. So let's teach our people and show them the path. And this is from everybody in the store, not just the techs, not just the riders and the managers, but this is the counter people. Without parts people, we don't sell ours. Without porters, we don't sell ours. Without detailers, we don't sell ours. It's all about the hours, and let's get it going.
I love that. I love how passionate you are about this. And I also love those monitors, though, because you also can't hide if all your stats are right there.
Well, it's competition's a good thing. Peer pressure is a great thing. It's kind of like, we did a thing about, videos and pictures on quotes make a big deal. As you've had some guests on it and some companies out there that promote that. So we decided if the store is at 95% videos on every customer pay and every warranty, guess what happens? They get paid another 2/10. Guess what happened the next day? 98% videos. And it just showed the peer pressure. And then I publish who is not above that threshold and not below the threshold. So then what happens? Bro, come on, let's get it going. Let me show you how to do those videos. And we build up those teams. We have stores that do competition, right and left sides or, either ors and stuff like that. And you just build it together. And all where competition is who's going to make breakfast that day or something. It's all about the fun, right? If you're not having fun at work, why go?
Yeah.
And you know what, Tully, you're right. When we are ranked, okay, whether it's a dealership ranked to its peers or somebody within the dealership ranked to their peers, we all perform a lot better when we know where we stand.
Oh, 100%. As these here behind me are more of the groups, so more of the stores. All the stores have all the tech where they are with hours, inspections, recs per, right? How much percentage of hours is selling on their recommendations, right? Their videos per, their pictures per, you can divide it up all that. And then the ones that we have for the service advisors, where they are on their forecasts, what they're up and down, what they're selling, not selling. Same day selling to me is a big deal. Are we selling things to our customer? But it really starts with those technicians recommending things that we'd recommend our family members, right? And then we want to keep track of those quotes and send those off to our customers in a world-class way. So I think that all of that together helps. And then here's the deal. I want the parts people involved. I want the porters involved. I want the parts and service managers involved. I want them to get excited. I want them all to be going after that one number, right? That's the number to chase. Because if we get a higher number, guess what? They make more money for them and their families. We make customers happy. That's the big thing. And if we have CSI, which stands for Customer Supplies Income is good, bam, they get more money.
I saw a post last week on LinkedIn from Sean Parrott at Mercedes-Benz of Farmington in Utah. And I saw him today. He was on a panel preparing for the next May the 4th be with you Fixed Ops Roundtable. And he had actually, I don't know if you saw the picture, but I tagged you in it, Tully. He actually put a parts counter person out in the shop at a desk. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that. Those are really, isn't that a great concept? Because what it does is that it helps the technician get more efficient, yet then also the technicians around him kind of think, that's my parts guy. That's my guy, and he's going to get me parts because if I get more parts, I can make more money for them and my families to get more hours produced, right? And it boils down to that. I think some of the biggest things I've seen with hours where you chase is that getting the parts department involved, because they always feel left out, right? And you know, parts department don't really sell hours on the back counter, but what they do is they provide parts for the technicians to make hours and the store make hours. That's the reason I believe it's fixed ops, not parts and service. And when we tied our pay plans all to that hours forecast, everybody's a team. They don't feel left out anymore. They're at the shop meetings. They're talking about what can we do to do better? How do we drive more hours? Yes, we have parts delays. Not their fault. Is how do we get it to make it more fun and get everybody together? And then we can have a big barbecue.
Celebrate.
Absolutely. I love celebrations.
Now, Tully, how often do you get your service and parts people together to have meetings like you just said and focus on those things?
So most service managers are best practice weekly, at least weekly stand-up part tech meeting that our parts department's fully involved. Service rider meetings are usually weekly as well, an official one that we do, and some do in the morning, some do it in the evening, but we at least want 30 minutes for that. And we also want to make sure that we love the parts counter people or lead person, but the parts manager is mandatory on those. He has to be. He's part of the team. It can't be just the service manager or just the parts manager, right? And then if the service parts manager is having a team meeting, which they're not every week, they're usually every other week or once a month, we want to make sure that service managers there, or even the foreman involved in those conversations to help out, because we want to help each other out. All we're trying to do is have fun and get paid.
Yeah.
Tully, for those people who don't know, you mentioned 101 years, Nilo company. Tell us, where's the company at and what franchises and what rooftops do you have?
I just want to say this. The Nilo company started in 1921 as a Packard Aero service center. Started in fixed, as I like to remind them a lot. And the whole thing is that today they have, developed ups and downs in dealership groups. But right now we are very, very fortunate to have a very good brand set. So we start off with the oldest original owner Porsche dealer in the United States. And second, we have one now opening up probably within less than a year. We're building a dealership today, so we're very fortunate of that. We have 2 BMW stores. We have a mini store inside of a BMW store. We have 2 Jag Land Rover stores. We have an Acura store. We have a Volvo store and a Volkswagen store.
Wow.
So we have, I would say, we're very fortunate with some quality brands, and we're very fortunate.
You got a big fan here in Sean Kingery. He says, Tully's the man. So look at that. And you got a fan club here. You've got Mike Vogel. You've heard of
the coach.
You've heard of Mike, right?
Thank you, Mike.
It's all about the hours at Tully Williams. Also, look at this, Lance Bennett. That's genius. You're tricking them into a lean Six Sigma methodology, and they love it. And and here's our good friend Sean Parrott. Thanks for the shout out. Hey, Sean, you did it, right? So, and that, I think that's going to be a great discussion point, Sean, with you and with James coming up at the roundtable. So appreciate you doing that. And we want to get some more feedback. So Tully, I thought about you when, like I said, when he made that post.
And the whole premise of it, when you get back just to the hours, and just like what Sean's trying to do, is he's trying to make it more efficient in his shop, right? Because ultimately what we're trying to do is produce those hours. And a lot of places want to do like effective labor rate and hours per row and dollars per row and how much money can we take from everybody. I say, I don't care about that. I care about the hour focus, right? Did we sell our capacity today? So when I look at it, did we sell 27 hours today? That's your goal every day, or 22, or whatever the goal is per day. Did we sell that every day? The whole thing about it is that when you look at the overall margins in parts and service gross, who controls that at a store? It's not the service advisor. It is the sales, service, and parts manager. That's who controls the margin most of the time. Oh, yes, there's discounts. Then monitor the discounts and make it a fun thing.
I love it.
Right?
I love it. Tully, easy. I don't know if the internet can handle all this.
It's so exciting. So I think that's the focus here. How do we get that to happen?
Wow. Okay. Lance has another suggestion here. Have they added customer-focused music beds to the videos they produce? Okay.
Love it.
So
That's true.
always something new. So I did not know about you that you at one time had your own shop and you were like an independent business person for quite a long time. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I had the auto clinic, so I enjoyed that. A partner of mine, and we did that for 14 years in Milpitas, California. It was called the Auto Clinic, the home of the free inspection. And I think what we try to make a difference is that we would offer free inspections to anybody. And when you're in the independent world, it's really a different world than the dealership world, is because every customer counts. And repeat and referral is so, so important. Now, I try to preach, we are in the business for what? We are in the business for repeat and referral business, and we sell 4 things: cars, F&I products, parts, and hours. That's what we sell, but we're really in the repeat and referral business. So when you're in the independent world, it is so important to be in the repeat and referral business. So I learned a lot. One is, how to run a business, which, I was an idiot at in the beginning, right? You just don't have how that works. I got payroll. What's that? Right. But we ended up with 8 technicians and 23 tow trucks, and we were having a lot of fun, and as things change, life changes. And that's how I got in the dealership world after that. I started at a Chevy store in in Los Gatos. And then I worked there for a little bit for AutoNation, which I learned a little bit of how the corporate works. And then I went over and met my good friend John Anderson and worked for him for almost 10 years, which is how we met.
Wow.
That is how you and I met. And I learned a lot about the Corvette customer at my time there in San Jose, California, at your dealership, Tully.
Corvettes are just a unique brand, and with that store there is that we sold about 50 to 100 Corvettes a month, and we were not even the number one. I mean, we thought, God, Tully, that's a lot of Corvettes. It ain't a lot to the number 1 and number 2. We were like number 5, 6, 7. The Corvette customers, I feel, are kind of like Porsche. Oh, I have like Porsche customers. I mean, very, what they want. We treat them right, respect, make sure we explain everything, and they buy everything, right? Here's the deal with Corvette customers and Porsche customers is they love their cars. They have passion. It's kind of like a Subaru owner, right? Subarus love their cars. People love their cars. God bless every one of them, right? And they want to take care of their cars as long as you are maintaining truly repeat and referral business and making sure we're not taking advantage of nobody. And tech recommendations, I'm going to say this numerous times, that we would sell our family members. That's what you're going to keep that repeat and referral business in place.
Yeah.
So, Kara, at this Chevrolet dealership where Tully was the service director, they had this beautiful restaurant in the showroom. Now, I'll never forget that. That was the first time I'd seen something like that, Tully. And I thought that was really unique. And all the things that you used that for, with customers, with goodwill. And actually, the food was really good there as well.
I tell you, I love that restaurant. It cost us so much money to have it there, but we didn't care. I mean, when you came in, when you were a little tidy, and I used to love to walk in the driveway, right? I love being a greeter. As I used to tell everybody, I'm training for my retirement job as a Walmart greeter. Is that I'd go out there and someone comes in a little bit cubby. Let me take you over here. Let me get this person. Hey, can I buy you breakfast this morning? Well, yes, great. It just takes that whoosh off, right? Yeah. And 2 is that it's great when someone does a great job at the store, a porter does an extra thing, or just a car wash or whatever. Guess what you can do? I'll buy you lunch today, or I'll buy you breakfast today, right? It just gives that reinforcement because people love to say thank you. People don't always need big fat paychecks. What they need is to say thank yous, and what they need is feel appreciated. And that's the whole goal of that whole matter. And that restaurant, that's all it was all about, is thank yous. And we didn't hardly charge that many people.
No.
Your dealer there, John Anderson, and is a brilliant person. I learned a lot from John. He had been a client of mine starting 10 years earlier. Wow. And I didn't realize what a short work week he had and why he had a short work week, because he lives in Hawaii. I think he lives in Kona, Tully, and he flies home on, is it Thursday nights and comes back on Mondays? So, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Jeanette that runs his store up there in
Jeanette,
at Anderson Honda, and is that he especially when this COVID-19 came in, he likes to be in Hawaii much more than he likes to be in California. But John, the thing about John is that John is a person that if he trusts you, you're in, right? And I think that the whole goal with John Anderson, and I bless him for giving me all the opportunities he did, is that I earned his trust. Now that didn't come easily. And John called you out, which, I have no problem with. And John taught me to be a better manager and a better person to run a service department. And, God bless him.
Sean Kingry's on here saying, hey, I'm a Corvette customer. We learned that, Sean. Interestingly enough, on John Anderson, when you spoke at our second Fixed Ops Roundtable,
Yep.
I called him on the phone. This would be now almost 3 years ago. And I asked him to come out to the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and it was on a Friday. And of course, on Fridays, he's back in Hawaii, right?
Yep. Yep.
And he told me, oh, no, I can't come, but I'll look at all the stuff. So I sent him all the stuff on it. And at the time, Jen Anthony was doing our tip of the day. And John called me like a couple hours later, and he said, is Jen Anthony going to be at the meeting? I said, yes. He goes, I might come.
I think every dealer, when you look at all the dealers I had, and my goal was not to be a hopper around, is that I think that all dealers have their uniqueness to them, right? And they give you that roundness picture. When I look at John Anderson, his thing was is that he was more anal about certain things, but then if he trusted you, he would give you the ability to make decisions without asking permission so much, right? And then I think when I worked for John, that really gave me some background and some solidness. And then I went to Del Grand Dealer Group with Sean and his father. Sean is just a wonderful man, and his family is a wonderful man. And they taught me how to run a group, right? And he gave me guidance on what I should look for. And that's how I met, my good friend Randy Brinkman, and how he gave me the guide to do that and gave me that strength and gave me the ideas. And then I took along with it, and he gave me that support I needed. And then I was very blessed, of course, to work up here with the Nilo company and just take that to the next step further. And, when you look at dealerships you want to work for, do they have the culture? Do they have the core values that you believe in, that you want to have your family work at? And I think nowadays that's a huge deal for people to come work for. I mean, people want to come to work for the Nilo group because we treat people with respect and honor and thank them, right? When you talk to Rick, it's like your grandfather. He's just the nicest man on the planet. And I think that really comes down to our managers, our general managers, and our service managers. How would you treat your family member? That's what we want. And I think that we learned that through our great leaders that we've had.
I don't know about the rest of everybody watching, though, but I can say one thing. I would love to work with you, Tully. There would not be a boring day in sight.
I love your videos. I just love those videos you do. It's just the craziest things ever. I got to come and visit.
Okay. Anytime.
There you go. All right. Tully, we've only got a couple minutes left. Yep. What advice would you give our audience? And we've got quite a few people on right now, our Fixed Ops audience, going into the last part of April here. What should we be focused on? What should we be doing? What should we be preparing for between now and, let's say, the next Fixed Ops Roundtable on May 17th? What would you say?
I think that first is that if you want to chase the hours, believe and chase the hours. Do you have a real forecast that you can tell a technician and a service advisor, a porter, a foreman, a parts counter person, that this is a real forecast? If you do not believe in that, please don't do it. You're just going to make a muck of it. And if you believe in that path and then show him how they can make more money for them and their families, how the technicians can make more money for them and their families, that's what the whole trick is that we're selling things that the customer needs, right? And we want to have that pathway so they can see it. And if they can see the path, you'll get people to it. That's the trick. Do you believe in it? And if anybody on here wants an hour's forecast sheet, I'll be more than happy to send it to them.
Wow. Okay. I see Michael Barrich is on here. And Michael, congratulations to you on the great success that your Nissan store has had. And Tully, you and I are going to see Michael tomorrow as we prepare on the Repair Pal panel for the event. So
I saw him at NADA.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Did you see me?
Yes, I did. I got you on the escalator.
I've been waiting to ask you this whole time. I told Ted, I was like, I grabbed a hold of Tully, and I don't think he knew it was me.
What happened was I was late for a meeting, and then you caught my arm, and I realized I know you. And I would have jumped all over and sat and talked to you, but I had to go. I'm so sorry.
was like, that was the most awkward, like, grab. Me going down the escalator, you going up.
Yep.
And you looked at me like, who is this crazy girl grabbing onto me while I'm up the escalator?
I know. Finally, I just want to mention this. Peter just put up there, don't forget retention. And I would say amen. Customer CSI stands for customer supplies income, but retention is the holy grail. And we actually monitor retention. It's a very slow moving number, but I'm telling you, if your number's dropping, you have a problemo. So I want to say amen, Peter. Absolutely. Retention is key to succeed. That's the reason why we're in the repeat and referral business.
Okay. Tully Williams, everybody, from the Nilo Company, is going to be the morning keynote speaker on day one of the next Fixed Ops Roundtable. And Kara, tell us when that is coming up again, if you don't mind.
Yes, it's going to be here in just a few weeks, actually, May 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's going to be all virtual once again, so you can get your complimentary ticket now at fixedopsroundtable.com to see Tully, myself, Ted, and a bunch of other cool people all show up for May the Fort be with you.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. So, hey, Tully, thanks so much for being here tonight.
Well, Ted, I can't thank you enough for what you've done to the Fixed Ops community. You have brought us out of the limelight. And I tell you, everybody that's on this call right now with this panel, everybody thanks you. And thank you for doing all you do. I can't thank you enough.
And Tully, I think you, Kara, and I are also grateful to everybody in this community and a lot of the folks who've just appeared with some comments as well. We're very grateful to them for all that they continue to do to support Fixed Ops. So, it's a team effort, and we're just one part of that. So
you got that right. I think all of us helping out from all the managers around, and I think you're helping us bring us together. And we all want to share knowledge, right? We're not in competition with each other. We just want to help each other out, and I just love doing that.
All right. Tully, I'm going to see you very shortly, and look forward to seeing you at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you so much. Take care, everybody.
All right. So go ahead.
I was just telling him thank you. I'm going to call him next time I do a Star Wars promo.
Yes.
That's like tomorrow.
Tomorrow it is.
This week's good for me.
All right. On behalf of Kara Delane and Tully Williams, I'm Ted Ings. We will see you next week at 8 p.m. Eastern here on After Dark.